into the whole thing about she said she wouldn't marry a bus driver and all this
Dr.
other
Umar?
stuff.
Is he somebody known?
He's like this black guy activist, and he does not like interracial dating or marriage.
Oh.
So you know he was gonna have something to say.
Oh,
there's okay. Dr. Umar says he better not find out that Ebony K. Williams was engaged to a white man. I better not find out your ASS was swimming in the milk. Let me see. Do they have his video? Okay, listen to his video.
He done dogged her out.
I saw that sister on the Breakfast Club this morning. What's her name? Erica K. Williams. What's the sister who was on there with Charlamagne and Envy today? Very well-spoken sister. What's her name? I seen her. What's the sister's name, brothers and sisters? Ebony. Ebony K. Williams. Well-spoken sister. She made some great points, but dear Ebony, that's not what you was talking, sweetheart. That's not what you was talking. You was on some talented 10th bullshit, and you tried to take it back to the community this morning, sister. See, we can't talk out both sides of our mouth. We can't talk out both sides of our mouth, sister. We can't talk out both sides of our mouth. I didn't disagree with much of what you said today, but that's not what you said the other day, sister. You was talking down to working class blacks.
Now, I said the same thing.
Yeah, you sure did.
When she was on the air, and this part irritates me more than anything. I said the same thing. When she was asked by Ayanna, would you date a bus driver? She said if he owns the bus company.
Well, on the bus. Didn't she
on
just
the
say
bus.
Owns the bus. We're assuming the company.
And because the backlash came from that, her being a lawyer, that's why there's 100 million lawyer jokes.
Okay.
Switched up the conversation when she came back to reply to everybody and started talking about being mediocre, being middle class, or this, that, and the other.
Strive to be
you
better.
should strive to be better as black people. You know, you probably the guys that got mad. You brought home C's, and your mom and dad probably coddled you and said, "Oh, that's fine, honey, as long as you did your best."
Thing about wealth.
And the wealth and all this, that, and the other. And then she went on to the Breakfast Club and doubled down again. And then she built a whole big surrounding around it. Now, the thing that irritates me is I've watched professional black women on YouTube, on other shows, come to her defense and say she should be able to have whatever preference she wants. Why is it wrong for her? No one's talking about her having a preference.
Even Sonny said that.
No one cares about her preference. That wasn't the original
Whether she wants
discussion.
a bus driver or not.
So quit saying that.
Yeah.
You know, we got comments in our thing. Women should be able, I agree with Ebony. You guys are wrong. She should be able to have her own preference. No one cares about her preference.
Thank you.
If she wants to date a man with one eye, no one cares.
I only date men with one eye.
If you date a man with one eye,
I love that patch on
don't
my eye.
talk about everybody who has two.
Yes.
If you're a man and you don't want to date big women, I'm good with that.
Yes.
But you ain't gotta be like, you fat slob. Why would anybody want anything that thing?
Fat women are just
y'all should just you need to stay in the house and just diet until you lose weight. Nobody wants you.
Have your preference.
And I'm not saying Ebony said that. She didn't go that far.
Right.
But that's the way people took it.
They took it as
what? A bus driver?
Look, that's beneath me.
If he owned the bus, so you don't have a problem with the guy in the bus industry.
Because he owns the company.
See, that's different. If she would have said, would you date a bus driver? And she said, no, my son or somebody was ran over by a bus. I have a problem with buses. I don't want anybody in the industry of a bus.
Okay.
Whether he owned a bus, whether he washes buses, whether he drives a bus. Buses creep me out.
Okay.
I don't want a bus driver.
Okay.
That's different than owning a bus.
Okay.
Because that means that you do have you're looking at financial.
Okay.
Never even thought about
a level financially to support and help me as well.
And assuming that because he drives the bus, he don't have more money than the guy that owns the bus company.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I know, but the point is, she's allowed to have a preference.
You're allowed to have a preference.
And that's what people are missing. when you say, she reminds me of that, I can't remember the scripture in the Bible where the rich man came in and looked down on the old woman because
yes.
And I'm thinking, how dare you lift yourself
up?
Oh,
in the Bible, the lady gave all she had.
Yeah, all she had.
And God was like, her giving that, whatever. Let's say in today's
more than what you did.
Terms, yes. You in church and they say, raise your hand. You know they always do.
Yeah.
You want to pledge $1,000. And people raise their hand, they pledge $1,000. Most of the people standing up, some of y'all know them. $1,000 ain't nothing to them.
Right. It's like a little.
But you see some single mom raise her hand, and you like, now but if she pledged $1,000, that's all she got. Well, that's stupid. But I'm just saying, in real reality. If you look at it a little different, because that's all they have. So my thing is, you can have a preference. Don't put down other people because they don't fit whatever your preference is. And who's to say your preference is right?
Right.
That's your preference.
I think too, when she started to go on the line of Black people should be in a place where they can earn wealth and want to do.
And that's what he's saying. I have nothing wrong with what you said.
Yeah.
I agree. Who doesn't agree with what she said on the Breakfast Club?
When you have opportunities to grow and
you
do better.
You want us as Black people to have resources and have the money
to
do. Who's going to disagree with that?
Exactly.
But I agree with him, and I'm not playing his whole 5-minute thing.
Okay.
Where he says, you fail to understand that there are also outside circumstances that keep people from having that. There was things taken from, there are Black people who was on Black Wall Street who had homes, who had banks, it was taken from them.
Yeah. Burned down, stolen.
And you asking their descendant, who is probably from once removed, it's probably their grandfather, to build from nothing. And then you saying how some people have something, and that's why they started off on a different playing field. Donald Trump's dad gave him $1 million.
I know.
To start his business.
Thank you. He had money given to him.
Now, that's not saying, even though I don't think he's as rich as he says he is, that he didn't work hard. He didn't take that $1 million and make it into what he has today with Trump Towers and stuff. But he gave him $1 million.
Yeah.
So really, it's not the same playing field.
So basically, it was the attitude, the pride attitude that it came across.
And I'm sick of Black women
belittling anybody that is in that role.
And I'm tired of Black women saying they agree with Ebony K. Williams. No one cares if you put in our comment that you agree with Ebony K. Williams. We don't care. I don't care that you agree with Ebony K. Williams. No one does. And you probably single. I bet you $100. You probably single. You probably make a lot of money as a Black woman. And you probably old. Like Ebony, 40. Which most guys that's in that top 1%, why would they want you?
Now, he was hitting
I know you don't want to hear that. But you might find a man, but your pickings is getting slim.
Did he mainly go in the direction of the fact that she talked about Black people and do the wealth and things?
Well, his
she's engaged with a white man.
Thank you. Envy brought up the fact that she was engaged to a white man.
Okay.
I agree with Dr. Umar. And let me say this. You don't have to be racist or be a person who is against interracial marriage.
Right.
He's against interracial marriage. I'm not.
Wow, okay.
I don't have a problem with interracial marriage.
Exactly.
But I don't want to hear you talk about what Black men need to do and you was getting ready to marry a white man.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a skinny size 9 or 5 woman tell big women what they need to do.
Unless she was my size.
Unless you was my size. And then you lost weight.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a man, unless you coming from a male perspective, tell women how to be women.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear women unless you coming from
Steve Harvey
which was dumb.
Books out there.
I don't want to hear a woman tell a man how to be a man. Iron sharpens iron, unless she's coming from a woman's perspective.
Okay.
I can say to you, this is what I feel women like to see.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we like to see in our men.
And even as a single parent raising a boy,
yes.
a single parent, this is the experience that I've had, and I've seen my boys, how they respond and stuff. So people know you're coming from an experience.
Yes, me talking about
yeah.
cramps to a young teenage girl starting her menstruation is a lot different than a man.
Unless he's a doctor.
But he still can't. He can only say from what he thinks.
Okay,
it's the scientific way. Okay. Yeah. But I can say, yeah, sometimes you're going to feel like you're going to want to rip somebody's head off. Mm-hmm. You have to have those mentors and those people in your life who not necessarily lived what you lived, but can understand it because they might have been in that same place. Mm-hmm. The best person to talk to you about cancer is somebody who had cancer.
Unless you are, now I can say there's a but to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Because there are situations where God has gifted somebody with that wisdom. They may, like, remember when we knew the lady in Chicago, she didn't have any children. She's never birthed kids.
Yes.
But she was an educator. She kept children. She adopted, she fostered children and whatever. Right. So even not having, she can honestly say, I never had a child, so I can't tell you about childbirth. So I know how far to go with the wisdom that I do have, but I can tell you how to raise this boy or to raise this girl.
Did she raise kids?
I think she did.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But that was a gift. Sometimes something is a gift or knowledge that you've gained, wisdom, a word of knowledge.
Right.
God can give it to you,
right.
Or you can learn from it. Or like a doctor, like you say, a male doctor won't know the feeling of having a baby.
Yes.
But yeah, he's a baby doctor. And I respect his expertise.
Yes.
So that's when you say that, I kind of say there is some
right.
There's some buts to that.
But God also understands that as humans, we look at the package that is delivering the message. That's why Moses said, you want me to go and talk and I stutter? I can't even speak. And God said, don't worry about it. I got
Your
you.
Brother
but I guarantee you, he didn't show up and say,
he might have. His brother did the talking. Pharaoh, let my people go.
Now, God either miraculously came in there where he could say, Pharaoh, let the people go, or somebody got to speak for him.
But
not him.
We've heard people's testimonies where they stuttered, and they are excellent speakers
when
right
it's
now.
Time to talk.
No, they don't stutter no more.
That's true.
So we don't know. The supernatural things can happen to a person where they just like, you're like, ooh, you used to stutter when you.
Now you look like the bottom of my shoe, and you want to talk to me about makeup and looking good, and your hair all messed up, and you looking like.
Remember who
you just rolled out of bed.
Remember that?
I'm not listening to you.
Reality show. I had taken another side of that. Remember that reality show with Fun Size DJ? They was dogging that lady out saying she's a counselor. She's a
marriage counselor.
Marriage counselor, and she had problems in her own marriage.
She dating a dude that live at home with his mother.
I know, and then I see you didn't discern that with your gift as a counselor. You a marriage counselor. You married a
and there's nothing wrong if you date the man that live at home with his mom. But don't counsel women who own their own homes,
but you
about dating somebody. You gotta tiptoe in his house at night, not to wake up his mom in the middle of the night.
But the other side of that, we have gone to hairdressers whose hair look like woo, but they'll whip yours really good. So I don't know. You do get experiences from both sides where that person may not appear to be how they can make you or the information they can share with you.
But that's Envy was saying. That's kind of what Envy was saying. That people are saying, don't talk about what black men need to do, and you was dating a guy that's white.
Yeah, why didn't you date a black man?
Well, he goes in on her. So that's why I was saying Umar is...
But she wasn't gay.
Bourgeoisie. You are a bourgeoisie feminist, and I hope to God you wasn't engaged to a white man, because I thought somebody said you was engaged to a white man. Ebony, I better not find out your ass was swimming in the milk. If I find out your ass was swimming in the milk, I'm going to lose a lot of respect for you, sister. Because what that tells me, if you were with a damn Neanderthal snow puppy, then you're telling me, at the end of the day, you are trying to condemn black men to justify dating white. If you are an interracial dater, if you are a bunny hopper, then what you are telling me is your whole diatribe, your whole rant against black men driving the bus was a justification so you can date a white man. I hope that ain't the case.
Now, I don't go as far as him.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dr. Umar, and it was funny because
she can date whoever she wants
to. She can date whoever she wants to.
Yeah.
Now, that part, that's what I'm saying. I don't go to the extreme on the other side.
Thank you.
Because you are dating somebody white or of a different ethnic group, you can't say nothing.
Right.
But we don't want to see you on national television speaking on behalf of black men, saying what they need to do, and you was engaged to a white man.
But
that's all I'm saying.
But I could say but to that. Like I said, there's another side of that. If that's her opinion, that's her knowledge that she's gained, just don't down people.
That's true. Don't down
the
people.
Thing. With black, white, Hispanic,
that's true.
Asian, whatever man you talking about,
true.
don't down any of them.
That's true.
Because that right there is just showing how what is it that's the lack of.
Because you're saying if you do it, let's say I am married, because that's Van.
Yeah.
From CNN.
Yeah, Van.
Van was married to a white woman.
Yes, he was.
And Van was always on CNN talking about black issues and black things. So I agree.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, don't down everybody that in that race. Because people gonna be like, really? And who you go home to?
Yeah. And that you should speak good about people anyway.
Yeah.
That should be something that's in our trait. We should always speak good, speak life into people's lives, speak good, speak positive, and try to build people up.
Yeah.
No matter what their color is.
All right, we passed our little hour.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, Scooby-Doo says, Wendy, we need your autograph from your picture. Wendy says, I was not in Greenleaf. I was in Chadwick Boseman's movie 21 Bridges.
Oh, okay. 21 Bridges.
Yeah, I saw that movie too. That was good.
Okay.
Starlight says, but the Umar Johnson needs to build the school. Laughing out loud. Emerald says, I have seen it, Wendy, but I am going to peep it out again. Starlight says, yep, that's what I said too, that she downgraded the middle class workers.
Yeah.
Emerald says, I would date a bus driver. He's a BMW, a black man worker. Thank you. Starlight says, one eye. Starlight says, I'm so sick of black women agreeing with Ebony too. Emerald says, yes, pickings get slimmer and slimmer after 40 and 45.
Yeah, it does.
And Ebony is 39.
Oh, I thought she was 40.
Well, if she's 40 now, I don't know. But it gets slimmer and slimmer.
It does.
And they don't want you. If they at that age, and she obviously shows, I saw her on Wendy Williams' show, she broke up with the white guy because during the pandemic, he wanted to shelter in place with his kids.
Yeah, you told me that.
And she said, no, he should be shelter in place with me. I'm going to be his wife. And I'm thinking, why would he shelter in place with you?
When you told me
over
that,
his kids.
When you told me that gave me some insight on her character, integrity.
So she obviously, her pickings is getting even smaller. Now she don't want a man maybe over 40 with kids. If he is over at 40, he has no kids. If he wants kids, not with you.
But it sounds like she's self-absorbed. She wanted it centered around her. Think about it, you guys. If the man has children and they need to, what's the word?
That was during the pandemic.
During the pandemic.
You don't know if you was going to be alive.
She was not his wife.
No.
She was his fiance.
And even if she was his wife.
No, I'm saying I get the wife part.
Oh, okay.
I get the wife because that's your wife.
No, not over your kids.
No, I understand.
You're a second wife.
Well, no. I understand the wife part, really, because that's his wife now.
Not over your kids.
No, I do.
No.
I do.
Well, we disagree.
Because that's his wife.
Not over your kids.
It's his wife.
Because you could get a divorce. I can't divorce my kids.
The kids probably need to be with their mom. Both of y'all need to be separate.
We don't know the whole thing.
I don't know. But I'm saying because she was not his wife.
Oh, okay.
For me.
At least with his wife, she would have some argument.
Exactly. Okay. But as a fiance, no, boo.
No.
His kids. He's going to be
with them. But I feel like kids first anyway, regardless. Because you could get a divorce from somebody, but your kids are there. Now,
you can't do that.
That's different. That's different than marriage.
Yeah.
I agree. Your marriage should be strong. Because if your marriage is not strong, your kids suffer from that. Y'all end up getting a divorce.
It needs to be a balance.
Right.
And there's situations where it's not. That's hard.
Yeah.
You got the new wife that say the new wife and the kids don't get along. That's hard.
Well, then you still can, you got to find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you don't put nobody else over your kids, especially if that's a second wife.
She wanted it, well, she wasn't a wife.
And not even a wife.
Yeah, she wasn't a wife yet. But if you saying that's what she said, yes, that shows insight of who she is.
Starlight said, I do have a problem when men or women intentionally go outside of their race because of self-hate. Emerald says, Kim, is he living at home with his mom or is his mom living at home with him? In that incident, the one you were talking about,
the reality show,
he was living with his mom.
Yeah.
Because he had got a divorce, wasn't it?
And the house,
and the wife took the house, and so he was living at home with his
transitioning.
And he was living at home with his mom. Yeah. But I agree, because our mother lives with us. Mm-hmm. We don't live with our mom.
Right.
Emerald says, Kim, okay. Scooby-Doo says, my cousin was a hairdresser for years, and when she did my hair, it was all over her head. She said that it made no sense to have it look good when she would be sweating. That's what you said. Some of the worst hair people are hairdressers.
Their hair not laid.
I agree.
But they can lay yours.
I agree.
Yeah.
Wendy says kids first. Starlight said balance is the key. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we run out of time, y'all. So all these other stories